And just when you think you've cleaned yourself up, you put on your new set of clothes. You've got on compassion and kindness and gentleness and humility, patience, forgiveness, and love. The enemy continues his quest to tear you down and to tear up and destroy those beautiful clothes you just put on. That is, if you haven't protected yourself with what the writer of Ephesians, presumably Paul, says, the full or the whole armor of God. Dress for success is a term that became an institution years ago, where people felt that primarily in corporate America, that there was a certain dress code that everybody should follow in order to be successful in business. Never mind what your skills were, first you needed to look the part before anybody would ever be interested in finding out what you know. Styles or ways of dressing were defined like business professional, business formal, and business casual, all of which came out of that period, and it began to inform everybody or anybody who was interested in how to make a mark in the corporate world. I, and probably many of you, are a product of this movement, where women needed to wear suits like men, not masculine suits, but feminine business suits with skirts and appropriate size heels. No stiletto heels, no 3 to 4 inch platforms, even though they look good, y'all, I know. But sensible, conservative, feminine shoes that accentuated the business suit. Men were to wear GQ style, gentlemen's quarterly style, conservative suits. Often dark suits with understated pinstripes, hip-length jackets, clean, starch, crisp white or light blue, 100% cotton business shirts, and sensible but decorative, colorful silk ties. Heavy makeup and perfume or cologne was absolutely forbidden, especially if you were going on a job interview, because if you chose the wrong scent, that could mess up your chances even before you ever opened your mouth. Flashy, bright colors of clothing were taboo. Everybody had to blend in and only stand out by your uniqueness of style, how you matched up and coordinated your conservative pieces to create your own style. Dress for success was born out of a need for people to know when to wear what and what to wear depending on where you were. Today, this business style is somewhat the same, but many of the rules have been relaxed and expanded. People of African descent in corporations can wear dreadlocks and twists in their hair, afros, and other unique hairstyles in corporate environments, which used to be a kiss of death. Women don't always wear dresses or skirts anymore. We wear dress pants and pantsuits in courtrooms and in business offices. Men don't always wear ties, even if they're wearing a suit. Sometimes just a crisp starched business shirt and dress pants will fit the bill. And yes, there are casual days now in offices just like there are in churches, where everyone is free to wear their sneakers and their jeans one day a week, for corporations, one day a week, to create a more relaxed cultural environment. But even though many dress codes have been relaxed in the corporate world, we know that on the flip side and on the more negative side, people are still being judged solely by the clothes they wear. Take, for example, the recent tragedy in Sanford, Florida, where 17-year-old Trayvon Martin lost his life in a confrontation with the pseudo-neighborhood watch vigilante type George Zimmerman. In that case, many people would brand Trayvon as a thug simply because of the way he was dressed. The hoodie that he wore on a damp, cold night with the hood over his head the way it was designed to be worn, like many of us wear, certainly like my husband and I wear when we walk, this dress was in the eyes of many not the right kind of dress for success. but instead it made him a target because of what that dress means to some people when they see it on a black man, woman, or child. Yes, there are dress codes being enforced all over in many mean and evil ways. Rest in peace, Brother Trayvon. But one thing is for certain, and we see it in both the good and the bad situations of life. There are rules to the game. And those who want to win in the game have to choose to follow those rules or be left behind. Ephesians 6 talks to us about the rules in fighting our spiritual warfare. Ephesians shows us the spiritual armor that we have to wear in order to be suited up right for our spiritual battle. This is a familiar passage for most of us, if not all of us. We've heard it many times, but it bears repeating, especially when we live in a world like the one we're living in today. As we read this passage, it tells us that in order to be dressed for success in our spiritual battle, we need some protective gear in order to fight and win. Because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, verse 12 says, but against principalities, against rulers of the dark world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And if we want to be successful in this spiritual battle, this spiritual warfare, after we've put on our new set of clothes, changed our inward selves with the compassion and kindness, gentleness, patience, forgiveness, and love, there's some protective gear, some spiritual weaponry that we have to pick up, put on, and carry to secure our new selves.